The next process is validate scope. First thing first, there are a lot of confusion between verify scope and validate scope. In fact, in our previous discussion, we had a quick overview to understand the difference. Now let's have another round of discussion with an example. Let's say you have the final round of interview tomorrow in your dream company after 6 rounds. The company sent you a list of certificates that you should bring in for the final interview. The list starts from school certificates until your college, also includes your PMP certification. It's really a long list. You started putting all the certificates into your file. It's really a big list. So you want support from someone. You called your sister. You handed over the big list and asked her to read it. As she reads the list, you started filing the certificates in order. After filing all for verification, you asked her to read the list again. Watch carefully the word verify. You verify whether you have everything as per the list. On the next day, you are in the organization for the final interview. The human resource manager collects all your certificates. He or she started validating your certificates, especially the PMP one. He goes to PMI.org website, the PMI's online credential registry, and validate whether your name is there in the list of candidates who successfully passed the PMP examination. Watch the word carefully, it's validation. The same concept applies in project as well. You verify internally within your organization whether all the requirements are fulfilled in the final project delivery. Just like how you verified your list of certificates with the help of your system. And the customer validates the final delivery against the requirements, just like the HR manager who validated your PMP credential. All right, now let's look at the definition. Validated scope is the process in which validated deliverables are completed against the scope baseline to decide whether the team has produced what was planned and documented. This is the process of formal acceptance of completed delivery by the customer. Validated scope is the process of formally accepting the completed project deliverables. The key benefit of this process is that it brings objectivity to the acceptance process and increases the probability of final product, service, or result acceptance by validating each deliverable. When is it done? This process is performed periodically throughout the project as needed. Few things to remember before we jump into ITTO. You execute the work, there is a deliverable. In control quality process, they are verified. You get verified deliverable as output. That deliverable goes to the customer. It gets validated by the customer for formal acceptance. Validate scope concerns about the acceptance of deliverable. Control quality concerns about meeting the quality requirements and correctness of deliverables. So, control quality performed first, then it goes to the customer for validate scope. Normally, you don't deliver everything all at once at the end of the project. You make phased deliverables. Therefore, validate scope with the customer done multiple times throughout the project lifecycle. In change-driven project, this will happen at the end of each iteration. Every iteration reviewed by the customer. At times, difference between validate scope and closed projects or phase also may be a little tricky. Validate scope results formal acceptance by the customer, let it be interim or final deliverable. So, once deliverables are accepted, naturally you close the project or phase. All right, that wraps up the overview. Let's move to the ITTOs.